And yeah, it's going to be Coda. The players made the lobby, and they made it with Game Heart.
They're listening,
Literally
man.
the first time it's ever happened
they're learning,
to me.
They're listening. This is what Epic is all about.
You can teach players. It's about bringing players and casters together and,
and
making lobbies with Game Heart.
Us teach them how to make the lobbies and having them teach us how to play.
Yeah,
so
yeah, that's the plan anyway. But,
yeah, it's pretty much how it goes down.
Yeah, we've actually got a little bit of a rivalry in this next match. Two of the kind of bigger, more amateur UK teams, obviously not like Dignitas or Fnatic or anything.
So it's
but,
pro in his game attack, mate.
Well, true. I can't argue with that. TSI and Forge Force Gaming, they do have a little bit of a rivalry going, and yeah, we've got those two teams represented by our two Zerg players in this next match.
Oh, it's CVZ, is it?
It's ZVZ.
Damn it, I was excited.
I'm pretty sure there are a couple of Protoss here. I mean, Boombox is
I know Boombox is
the number one seed, definitely the favourite to win the tournament. He's the Protoss.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm not sure we got him on our streaming schedule today, but you know what? We're definitely going to see him tomorrow. So
yeah, it's true.
He's going to pass.
But we've still got days of this. Like there is, there is like still. Yes, not wrong about that. You can still. We can hear them in here. That's not actually true, but I wish we. I mean, you do hear that kind of thing. Like you hear just distant screams at night sometimes of like people getting ganked in the bot lane.
You hear. He's in short. Heaven.
They're always in
banana.
It's always banana.
Trousers.
It's never trousers, however.
Oh, there's a meme about this. I knew about that. There's some kind of meme on CS:GO about how. I don't know.
You're not asking the right person.
Some CS teams call is like always diggity. I don't know. CS players will know. They'll get it. They'll understand.
CS players, any of you out there, feel free to explain that joke in the chat.
Don't. I don't care.
No, I actually am now interested, I must know. If it's complicated, I will lose interest very quickly, but for now, I care. So, let's get on with the game, and hopefully in a little bit, I'll find the answer to my question, my eternal quest. So, spawning in the 10 o'clock spawn. The 10 o'clock in the yellow from Forge Force Gaming Pro. It's Kroxic. I think they've all named themselves Gamer something after Richie.
Possibly.
I think I may just go back to calling them by what they actually originally identified as.
Probably. Well, I mean, the problem with Cladaheiser / Warm Dave / Edgy Dave / Gamer Dave is he has so many names.
Killer Sponge, Cladaheiser, Edgy Dave. It's a different one every time I see him.
Pretty much.
But I think I got Cladaheiser nailed down in my head. Yeah. Cladaheiser is how I think of him.
Yeah. I forgot about Killer Sponge even then.
Yeah, I know. I did for a bit. Because Cladaheiser was clever. So like,
yeah, true. That was.
That replaced it in my head.
Either way, down here in the bottom right-hand corner, of course, the pink Zerg player representing TSI. It's Aicy.
Took a break earlier, went to the bathroom, and came back a satisfied man. So hopefully, that sounds worse than I meant it to, but still, hopefully, hopefully he's in the zone still, full with warm emotions, and is ready for this
no longer with warm urine.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I imagine it is still warm, but like, it's probably not in him anymore.
True. Well, no, by now. It depends how long it was ago. It might be cold
like
by now.
sewage and stuff. I don't know how it works, to be honest. Like, I'm not an expert on that process. But I do know that apparently the fat in biscuits comes from processed sewage.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. It is interesting until you remember that actually you quite like biscuits until I told you that. And then you're just like, I remember being told by my uncle and going, that's pretty disgusting, but at the same time, it hasn't killed me yet. And I just prioritised.
They don't taste like sewage, but they're probably not really sewage.
Yeah, it's probably fine. It's all chemicals at the end of the day. Both players on a par on speed, pretty much, like 2 seconds in it. So really not going to be that much. Even though I think Aicy got a second, natural, much faster than Kroxic.
I think it was like a hatch gas pool versus pool hatch gas.
Something like
that. I wasn't paying attention. I was listening to you talk about sewage.
Yeah.
But either way,
it's pretty much
hatch first versus pool first doesn't make that much of a difference on its own in the economy. Just because you get the queens out faster and you can do that lava inject style ramp up very, very quickly. The main difference is in the timings your lava come out. I was talking to Pig about this at Toronto, and he was saying like it all actually ends up being very, very complicated. What timing you get your queens out, and when you have your swells of units from lava production. and like if you're actually a good player, like really good, you can get like the exact timings where they won't have a swell of units, move in and kill off like 2 drones, and then you come back and move in next time you have a swell of units and they don't. And oh god, it's weird.
Yeah, it sounds all deeply complicated and much more at a level that like than I can deal with. To be honest, it's like it's too Zerg for me. I'm not that Zerg. But little attacks coming out now from Aicy, getting the scouts in, and actually seeing a lot of lings coming out to Kroxic. So we'll be seeing that swell of defense coming out now for Aicy, just to make sure that he isn't over-pressured. Both players have got binding nests complete. Both players have continued mining gas. So we are almost certain to go into Lingbane Wars in the near future. It's nice just how it happens.
Lingbane Wars, but I don't think we're staying it for too long. Aicy is already making plans to move away from that with his lair on the way. And of course, GamerKroxic, Krosis's also lair on the way. Both on 3 gases though, so not particularly Mutalisk-esque, but on the other hand, no Roach on just yet. Interesting.
Why would he get a Roach Warrior at this point when he's already invested into Lingbane? Is it because it's reaching that kind of Lingbane stalemate?
I think it's more so because you almost have to get the Lingbane, unless you go for like a fairly playing it safe Gastus opener, which has really fallen out of meta because you can just play so greedy against it and then do whatever and win. But you have to invest into Lingbane just to survive if your opponent is doing a big Lingbane attack. Like if you get like a bunch of Speedlings and Banelings running down your ramp and you've got a Roach Warren half finished and no Speed and no Banelings, then you just lose the game.
Yeah. Actually getting a Baneling there for very little. Aicy, so close. Gonna put these.
Oh!
Made the mistake.
That's not what he was.
Trading off not so badly perhaps with those Banes of his own, but still not the best thing in the world. That Baneling of course still.
Yeah,
I reckon that was worth it for Aicy just about in the long run. Got a few roaches following up. Going to be both players committing to that route. Behind in upgrades is Kroxic, but he did have slightly more roaches. But in general, if Aicy gets a nice timing here, he'll have more roaches with a bit of speed, with a bit of upgrades in a time when his opponent simply does not.
Yeah, well, this is all comes back to the hatch first versus the pool first, and the time into the swells of lava. Maybe, I don't know. I just said that. Sounds smart.
Yeah, well, I mean, it did work for a bit until you followed it with that.
Oh, damn it.
So, you know, you fluffed that, didn't you?
Oh, well. Oh, that's why they call me the fluffer.
They don't call you that.
No, but they should.
No, I actually support this nickname. For once, I support one of your self-appointed nicknames.
Hooray.
The fluffer, I asked you.
Please don't call me the fluffer. Either way, both players getting their third bases established pretty nicely here, and no aggressive moves made just yet. I don't think they're going to do too much until they actually have gotten a bit more of the return of investment on that third base, saturated it at least a little bit. If we see a couple extra gases come down in the third, we could potentially see a move more towards Hydralisks or Infestors, or anything that requires a bit more gas than roaches. Yeah, we do see some gas coming down on the third base for Aicy now. Kroxic still not investing towards that, but with that 5th gas, that will allow him to go very easily towards Hydralisks, kind of. That's 5 gas is good for Hydras. 6 gas maybe for Hydras with upgrades. True.
I'm pulling these facts out of my distant memory. There is the 6th gas coming down now. So there you have it, the upgrades may be following up. Starting that 2-2, or that +1 carapace now to support the +2 missile that is on the way. Both the players going into the mid-game macro wars.
Absolutely, and Kroxic with 16 on minerals, no gas, is just pumping out roach after roach after roach, whereas Aicy, as you mentioned, with that extra gas, building up a bit of a gas bank, and whoop, I think I saw, yes, there it is, there's the Hydra stand, he's moving towards that now. This is going to put him a fair bit behind until he actually gets a few Hydras out. You don't need many to swing the fight of a roach versus roach fight, but once he gets like 5 or 6 Hydras out and can actually start fighting with them, then he's going to be in a pretty good position. But until then, until they reach max, Kroxic should be able to find a timing and really drive behind them. Actually, we see his own Hydra stand coming down as well, so they're both going to be electing, to transition a little bit away from just mashing roaches into each other's face until one of them runs out of roaches. And I'm in support of this idea. Yeah.
Changing the meta. I thought that was like all as easy as it was. It's just, here's my roach and here's your roach, and then you just get them, you just force them together. And they're like repelling magnets. You push harder, scrub their little roachy faces together, and you go, kiss! Kiss! And
yes,
then eventually,
kissed with acid!
the best kind of kiss.
Oh yeah, actually.
It's so romantic.
This is really interesting though. Aicy has gone for muscular augment, Hydra speed first, and Kroxic has gone for Hydra range first.
Wants to be defensive, so it works out very nicely.
Yeah.
I actually think that will favour the defensive player in general, because he'll have
for sure.
He'll have a superior engagement probably anyway, and defensive advantage, and combine that with extra range and his opponent admittedly reinforcing at a reasonable rate, but maybe not as fast as he would like. Now, seeing of course that move out with the Overlord in the middle of the map, you know that Aicy's going to have to go back, but we've seen the retreat. So I think Kroxic has made the right choices, maybe by luck, maybe by judgment.
Maybe, though. Think of it, like range first is basically always better, just because range is
safer.
One of the yeah. I mean, it's pretty much always better, even if you're going aggressive. Like you don't get the fast reinforcements, but just having that extra bit of range on your units is so important. One of the biggest, if you remember, the one thing to spawn the entire area of Blue Infestor all is not going to engage in place. So yeah, he has to back out. That's a much better one than you get if Kroxic had followed him down the ramp.
Yeah,
the thing that spawned the whole era of Blue Infestor and that time of Zerg being slightly overpowered was a little bit of a range buff on Queens. Just made them a bit better. Range is one of the biggest attributes a unit can have, and so just that +1, it matters a lot. But
I remember when Immortals were 5 range, and I was like, why would they do this? And then they put them up to 6 range, and I was like, it should be at 7. But at the same time, while I stand by that as a statement, I understand why they are not.
Well, this is that's the opposite engagement that we saw on the other side of the map.
No, Aicy going down the ramp though. I'm not sure if that's the right move to be engaging here. Most of his units engaging, but I think that Kroxic has the edge here with the range already complete. The augments haven't actually completed, just now completing for Aicy, but this is still superior for Kroxic.
The roaches run out for Aicy, and that means his Hydra's juicy Hydralists are being mulliganed away by those roaches. And mulliganed away, I don't know. Words, I'll just say them. Words. Kroxic is going to be able to get this 4th base, but I think the reinforcements coming in, he's going to have to make a hasty retreat. These roaches will deal swiftly with his Hydralists, especially as their numbers increase.
They don't have augments either, remember, so his Hydras are not moving. Actually, they do seem to have augments, they're moving pretty fast. But they are just about going to get away. I'd like to see a few more of those go down for the trade, because obviously a base was killed off in this fight. Not the right engagement coming out of Aicy at all, not getting himself the fight that he wanted. Now actually maybe overextending as well, the reinforcement wave for Kroxic coming out. I think that Aicy has pushed too far and too hard, and he might lose. No, he's going to get away with the majority of this army coming down the side path, but that still leaves his army split, and as you know, divide and conquer. So we'll see Kroxic pushing out on the map, trying to punish the fragments, and that's exactly what he's doing in this fight.
Picks off 4 roaches there, might be able to get 1 or 2 more in the corners, but actually he's going to lose 3 roaches of his own. Takes out 1 more, but that's not a great trade. But now Aicy doesn't have many forces here, so what he does is pure roach. Could end up getting quite a lot done against the Hydra force of Kroxic if he finds the right engagement angle. Here he's going in for a sandwich. If he can get it, he'll be in a pretty good position, but the reinforcements from Kroxic are distracting a little bit, and Aicy is fighting on 2 fronts now. Nice round, almost all the units from Aicy are fighting, and the back flank is not too strong, but this concave at the bottom ramp looks like it's going to be enough. He breaks through those juicy Hydras in the middle, and he is going to clean up the army, but still in 4th place, only just going down now.
I super agree with that engagement from Aicy. After a couple of bad ones, he needed that good fight. And good fight he found, getting the full surround, killing off the entire army of Kroxic. If he pushes out, I don't think he can make much happen. Both players pretty equal at this point in time, but they are very much equalising in macro as well as army. So it's kind of returned the game to a bit of a neutral state with maybe a slight advantage in Aicy's favour at this point. He just has to take fewer weak engagements and more strong ones.
Yeah, one of the things in Aicy's favour is he does have that burrow upgrade. No burrow move his roaches, but with 3 roaches burrowed up here, they're going to have to be taken out.
I love this fight.
Oh, this is
great.
So yeah, just splitting off a few of his forces to kill this off. He has all the time in the world to do it at the minute, and he has a great defensive concave out this round. He's aggressive defense. It's the Terran style of like, well, you know, I'm just going to defend at your 3rd base. And yeah, Kroxic moving up the ramp into that concave from Aicy. it's just not a fight he can take. And
Exactly.
having killed the 4th base, Aicy doesn't need to stick around.
I particularly liked how he positioned himself for that fight before it happened by a long way. So he went, okay, I'll attack the 3rd from the fight I'm going to take when you try and defend.
Yes.
Rather than just attacking it from angles and stuff. And you often see Protoss do that, and I know that because that's how I tend to go into bases. You see Protoss going, I have the Colossus, I have the range, snipe, 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 chip away, chip away, chip away. What Aicy did was perfect for the units he had on hand, as the Protoss strat of using the Colossus superior range is for that.
Second layer coming down from Kroxic. I think that's a mistake, but
No, it's back up.
never know. Yeah, fungal as well, or pathogen glands being mixed in by Aicy, and in 1 second we could see him starting infestors, which will finish with pathogen glands. So we'll probably see them pretty shortly.
I think you are absolutely right.
This is going to be interesting. Now, this is exactly the sort of time to start
Here they
mixing
come.
in that kind of tech as he approaches 200-200. His army's not getting any stronger, so, or at least not just from numbers. So, oh my god, you cannot take this fight, Kroxic. And he just backs on off.
Aicy has learned his lesson. He took a couple of bad fights and his mama got scared, and now he's taking only extremely good fights.
Yes.
Because she's armed him with the tools that he requires to be up on those thugs.
Mothers, take note.
Yes, you could be better parents than you are.
Yes. If only everybody had a gun, then nobody would have a gun.
I believe that is how the NRA preach.
Yes, basically. Either way, yeah, Aicy with the infestors coming in, and obviously it'll take a little while for them to generate energy up to their full capacity. But when they do, he's going to add a lot of power to this army. 8 fungals, and what will that leave over? Like 8 infested terrans as well.
2 fungals and then
2 fungals, 2 infested terrans.
Yeah.
So
stuff on full energy.
in total, yeah.
Yeah.
But never do maths on stream. But yeah, I mean, that adds in quite a bit of extra punch to an army, just that extra bit of AoE damage, especially if you can take engagements as smartly as Aicy has been. When Kroxic is trying to move up these ramps, if Aicy can just get a fungal on some of the back units,
absolutely,
he has to keep on moving up. And then also, it acts like a Zerg force field. You fungal the back units in place. The front units can't retreat. They have to keep on going and trying to fight, and it will be a bad fight. But now, Kroxic has found a sneaky attack path into the 3rd base of Aicy, and this is going down.
Yeah, there's no way this is surviving. It's going to die incredibly quickly. It's just a question of how much damage is taken. The drones aren't getting out. Fantastic choice of engagement position for Kroxic. I don't think Aicy would be wise to engage here unless he pulls off the sickest flank, which might be what we're trying to see here. Not maybe the best fight there. Losing a couple of units needs to pull his army apart, but the fungals are about to go down, I think. Where are those fungals, Aicy?
There's one on the Hydra's trapping in the back, and then he moves back a little bit, meaning he can fight only the roaches, but the roach tanking from Aicy has largely disappeared, and the roaches from Kroxic are getting straight on top of these Hydalists. Meanwhile, over in the 3rd base, a little bit of roach run, but has taken out 20 drones for Aicy. So it's not as uneven as it might appear. Another great fungal traps these units away from the Hydras, which can chip away at them. The 3 spine crawlers should be defended pretty well, especially against these very low health units.
Yeah.
But they're not going to last forever.
Well, the roach reinforcement wave has now come out of Aicy. I think this force is going to go down as long as he pulls the forces roach units. A lot of damage being dealt to both sides. I don't think the 4th, as it is now, is going to fall. Aicy just holding on with the skin of his teeth. We're taking some serious losses. He's come out of this ahead, though, if you look.
Oh, yes,
his army
for sure.
supply is up double.
Losing the 3rd is a bit of a hit, but he can just transfer stuff over to his 4th base. And as soon as he does that, his econ will be almost as good as it was. And 24 drones have gone down for Kroxic. Aicy's taking them out with a run by towards the 3rd base. And, you know, he's still got those roaches regenerating up. They can come back in as soon as they want. The Hive now finished for Aicy too. And that means 3/3s being mixed in. Infestors are being put back in. And Kroxic, he's mining out his main. His natural's not mining. The 3rd base is the only remaining base here. And Aicy, with actually a little bit, they're almost equally incumbent. Aicy's got a couple hundred extra per minute, but his units are just so much more efficient with the 3/3 upgrades that are going to kick in, with the fact he's got double the army supply, and like half again the worker supply, and then the infestors, the energy units, which are just being made now for Kroxic.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's looking so dominant at this point in the game. Aicy, having taken a few really strong engagements and a few really weak engagements, has managed to end up slightly ahead in pretty much every regard. Those upgrades, especially once they kick in, going to be quite a big deal. Keeping him alive that bit longer, dealing that little bit more damage, adding in the fungal splash damage, which of course Kroxic is trying to bring in on his own side, is going to leave him in a very good position to win this game.
Yeah, he will be in really important position. He's
just got more money.
Really good. Yeah, he's got more money. The fourth base is going to be so difficult to secure. There's actually borrowed lings on both fourth base locations for Kroxic, though he does have detectors with his army, and obviously Fungal, the underrated Zerg second detector unit. Well, third detector, including Spore.
Yeah, that. Don't even get me started. Don't even start on the underrated second detecting unit of the Zerg. Why does it short out my Templar?
Hey,
why?
Everybody has 3 detector units, or 3 ways of detecting things.
Do we?
Scan, Raven, Missile Turret, Photon Cannon, Observer, Oracle, and Fungal, Overseer, Spore.
Alright. Alright.
Based God David Kim.
Alright. I'm just saying that my detection spell doesn't cause damage and lock in place.
True.
Does last a bit longer though.
Does last a bit longer.
Does last a bit
longer. But you know what?
Longer,
I think the key story of this game, down here in the bottom left, is the 2 overlords, like Romeo and Juliet. They've learned to live together. Maybe not like Romeo and Juliet. They're facing away from each other. They're a bit hostile, but you know what? They're cooperating.
They were in a good place, but now they've been married for a while and it's got kind of cold.
Yeah, it's got cold.
Yeah, like
this is Romeo and Juliet if they hadn't killed each other, and they're just kind of been like, well, you know what?
It's like
we were 13. It was young love. Maybe we listened to too many Taylor Swift songs.
I'm already there, mate. No, but like, yeah, they're now 30. Romeo's put on some weight as a Juliet, and they're both kind of starting to
straight onto the infestors. Most of them don't get off any bundles. This is the final engagement for Aicy. He's just crushing the Kroxic, and GG. That was the final blow. Very, very well played by our TSI Zerg player. He just. There were a couple. Yeah, I think you said it well during the game. There were a couple bad fights. Then he got his head in the game. He thought, you know what, I'll just not take a bad fight the rest of this game. And then he
pretty much didn't. He took like a bit of a sketchy one at one point, but he had the defender's advantage, which is quite important. He did manage to hold that third base when he did it. He killed off his entire opponent's army, so it worked out okay. And maybe we saw a certain amount of Kroxic getting too greedy as well. If he saw that he had that window and he felt like he was behind, which to be fair he was, he may have gone, I need this, and in his urgency to get something back, actually ended up losing out more. It's always incredibly hard to gauge correctly.
Yeah, it's a difficult thing to do, but it looks like we got Terraform for map number 2. The more standard, I would say, of the new maps. It's just like the map layout is pretty much the same, but it's the attack paths through the spiral center that make it a bit more interesting, as well as, of course, those open-backed bases with the gold base and the possible third, mainly fourth base location that you probably don't really want to take too much in Zerg vs Zerg. You end up with a bunch of roaches firing away at your mineral line. You can't really do much.
You never want roaches firing your mineral line. That's always like that's never a good place unless your drones and or SCVs in this case have turned into marauders. In which case you're fine with that. You don't care.
You know what would be better if you're than marauders? It would be if they turned into warhounds.
Everything would be better if it was a warhound.
That's true.
Probably even warhounds. That's how good the warhound was. It was better than itself. It was literally the hard counter to itself.
Times.
Early hots. How I miss you. Not very much.
Not too much at all.
No.
But either way, we're here. We're StarCraft casters.
That's true.
Deal with it.
That's a science fact.
Yeah, down here in the bottom right, the pink Zerg player representing TSI, it's Aicy.
He's already up one game. Want to see how it plays out in the second one, whether he's got any different strats coming. And his opponent down that game that Aicy took.
Oh, yes.
I think that he has the potential to come back even to win this, but we'll have to see if he's able to pull it out of the bag. In the 11 o'clock spawn, in yellow representing Forge Force Gaming Pro, it's Kroxic.
Yes, indeed. And pretty fast pull coming out here from Aicy. I didn't see exactly when that went down. I think it was an 8 or 9 pool. So let's see how he plays this out.
I feel like that's right. This is the thing. Like, I don't know if I actually met Aicy, but I had this feeling when I saw him win that previous game. I had this feeling that he was going to kind of turn up and go, okay, time to pull some shenanigans out. If it's time to drop some cheese, maybe it's just time to pull it out of the bag.
Yeah, when you got to cheese, man's got to cheese, man's got to cheese. And if you're going to cheese, what better matchup to do it in than ZVZ? And what better build to do it against than a 15 hatch?
It's true.
Now, we'll see how far Aicy commits to this. I'm expecting with, like, I think I favour the more economic cheeses where you go, like, about 10 or so lings. And then just cancel on this hatch, get your own hatch down much faster. Oh man, hatch gas pool from Kroxic. This is as bad a situation as it gets.
Mad trouble, yo.
And he knows.
He he's probably seen that. He's probably seen that. When is it panic time? Is it panic time yet? I don't actually know if he's panicking, but he probably should be panicking because those lings are almost at his base. This is a map where you get yourself in some real trouble if your opponent cheeses. It's not far to go. That base, you've got to see the cancel surely. This
is getting cancelled. He can move up in the main and probably kill a couple drones as well. Now, of course, these are like decently solid master players, so Aicy, just by the timing of this hatchery or the health of this hatchery, knows that it was a hatch first. And the fact that he goes for the cancel rather than do the damage anyway means he knows exactly what he can do. Oh my god, the pool is finished just after the cancel on the hatchery here. And
there's not Aicy is looking like he's about to take the second game in a classic Zerg style, turning up, ripping through his opponent's drones at a time when his opponent has not even built units yet. There is nothing here. All Kroxic can do is keep his drones as safe as possible, and already losing a couple, I think.
Aicy's timing on that was impeccable as well. Just as the lings for Kroxic approach completion, Aicy moves in there, he surrounds them as they come out without losing a single ling of his own. Now it's, what can Kroxic do? He can't mine, he just has to like try and survive on this. Aicy's going to move back a little bit, but already he's equalized the supplies, although Kroxic does have speed coming out a bit faster. So Aicy still has to do a bit more damage to really secure an advantage here.
Yeah, speed is good. Speed is very, very, very good. If Kroxic manages to establish speed, he can begin to dictate the fights he takes with Aicy, and Aicy's not going to have speed for a pretty long time. He is committed fully to this attack, and now actually following it up with gas and
whoa, double gas?
Yeah, Roach Warrior, man.
Whoa.
He's going roaches. He's following this up, one base cheese up with a second cheese. He's just going mad.
Aicy has some builds, man. I think Aicy's not actually a UK player at all. I think he's a secret Frenchman because his cheese is out of this world. So yeah, we're going to see the finely timed gas as well. 2 on one, 3 on the other. The difficulty is going to be holding off against this speed timing because now Kroxic, after being getting a fair bit supply capped, he's going to get out of this. He can pump. Oh, okay, he's droning. I'd almost favour this situation just pumping out a ton of speedlings and going and killing Aicy.
I love this little wall that Aicy.
This is sick.
Like, I'm just in the middle of the map with my queens. Yeah. What are you going to do?
Unfortunately, there's another attack bar.
Yeah, I was pretty sure there would be, but I still really like what he's doing. I think that's cool. That's extremely Protoss.
It is. I don't know. I think it would have been kind of better to work around this rock tower, but as it is,
or maybe be at the top of the ramp.
Yeah, these speedings are fine. Oh, the roaches come out just the right time though, and only 1 drone goes down, 2 drones.
Yeah, there's the queen gonna finish off that last guy. The roach is now gonna move out on the map. I think maybe being there was just to deny a little bit of time, so the roaches didn't get seen as early. And now we're seeing emergency defenses coming out of Kroxic. That roach warrant of his own is on the way. 1 gas taken for him. The natural base almost complete, but I think with the lings, with the roaches now, and even the queens pushing across the map for Aicy, gonna be heavy pressure at the front door of his opponent in not too long at all.
Not at all. And whilst this natural hatchery will finish, I think it's going to be a tough order to defend this. 6 lings on the way from, 6 roaches on the way from Kroxic, but there's already 6 from Aicy coming across the map. And with the extra 2 lings, and when the queens arrive, they've got so much transfuse energy. By the time they get there, they'll have 3 transfuses each, and Aicy will be able to dictate the terms of the engagement a bit more. Oh, he even almost snipes off a roach there while it's under construction, although the reinforcement advantage is here for Kroxis. Aicy has these lanes just a little, these roaches just a little bit faster there. Oh, the Queen's clutch transfuse, managed to get out, now they're here. The creep is being spread and will benefit Aicy just as much as Kroxis, and he gets the concave up for the engagement. 2 transfuses being spent, 4 more available.
I think Aicy's going to win this.
I just think you're right.
I mean, he's got the defender's advantage, but he's got those queens for the transfuse. It's just going to be like, when those roaches should be dead, they're not going to be dead. The reinforcement is going to keep coming in for Aicy. The hatch is going to go down. At the very least, Kroxis is going to be badly off. At best, Aicy's going to kill him right here and there.
Yeah, at best, very concerning. And Aicy with a solid army supply advantage as well. Roach is just rallying across the map, across the map, across the map. Kroxis is trying to produce them as fast as he can, but off one gas, he just can't really match the same kind of production levels of pure roach that Aicy can. Yeah. Up again, no transfusers left over here for him, and this is a big concave for the process.
Yeah, most of the roach is not actually burrow. Oh, I love that he has burrow. I absolutely love that he has burrow. I didn't notice that coming in, too focused on the engagement, but the fact that his units are underground, they're now healing as best as they can. If he adds tunneling claws to this, damn.
Kroxis knows he has burrow. There's a spore.
No, he knows. I mean, of course he knows, but...
Well, no, but he knew beforehand. He was building that spore crawler as the engagement was going down.
Maybe it's just safety.
Maybe it's just safety.
Maybe if he just reburrows slightly further away.
Yeah. Ooh. Queen. Oh, this is a god save the Queen.
Yeah, and actually, this creep unit that Aicy's put down could allow the spore crawler to deploy on the low ground.
That's true.
So this may not be the smartest tumor in the entire world.
Maybe not. Maybe not. On the other hand, I mean, I think the mobility for the Queens is more important than just that spore crawler moving forwards a bit. I mean, certainly Aicy can take dominant control of this low ground. The only reason Kroxis really won that first engagement was he had the sick concave at the top of a tiny ramp, and now Aicy has that advantage. He's just pouring roaches and roaches and roaches in as his natural hatchery comes up, as his lair comes up off one base, and oh boy, I expected some interesting builds out of Aicy, and he's certainly clever. Oh, Spine Crawler's been proxied as opponent's base off the creep tumor that was built on the spore crawler on the creep of his opponent's hatchery. And now Kroxis moves down the ramp, but Aicy's moving with a sick concave. 2 transfuses available as well, and he chases Kroxis straight back up that ramp.
Yeah, that was never going to happen.
No.
What I really, really like Aicy's contain here. It's such a Sergi strategy. I also love his Overlord spray. Look at that. Overlord on every attack path. The only way I think we could see Kroxis get out of here is with air units or Nidus.
But how does he get the Nidus? There's no overlords in position. If we look at Kroxis, he's so contained, ultimately contained. There's the only vision he has is over his own base, and even that just barely.
Aicy sees the whole map. He has absolutely total control. Overseer drifts in, can see absolutely everything. He knows what's coming down. Sees the Nidus network. That was the ace in the hole for Kroxis. He needed that Nidus network. At this point, all he's got is, I mean, he doesn't have anything. There's no strategy that is unseen by Aicy that he can deploy at this point.
No, not at all. And
look, the overlords of Aicy now moving to the corners of the base. He's going to have total coverage.
Yeah, he's going to have total coverage. He does actually have to give up his contain to be able to kill off that Nidus network, because even if it gets up over towards the 3rd base location, it'll be so quick for all the units from Kroxis to actually get out, and he will finally root the contain, clean up the creep tumors, and start moving across the map. But man, Aicy's, he's got a natural base up. The income is a little bit in his advantage, just 300 minerals or so a minute, but that's enough in a Zerg versus Zerg in a mirror match. And his speed timing, it's all finished, and Kroxis has just barely started. And that matters more than you'd think in an engagement, just in units like moving in next to each other, and particularly it matters in chasing down your opponent after an engagement.
Yes, that's one of the biggest parts of why speedlings and speed roaches do so much better than non-speedlings and non-speed roaches, because they choose when the fight happens, and they can chase off and kill if they have any advantage, or escape if they don't.
Yeah, and Kroxis, this is all or nothing. He can't escape from Aicy speed roaches, and he won't. He just won't be able to make this. Kroxis, everything gets cleaned up. Rip. He knows it's over. GG, and Aicy, what a build in game number 2.
Yes.
Gets it done. I really want to hear his thoughts on that, and we're going to go to FaZe in just a minute with that. But yeah, I don't think like the only person I've ever seen do like a 2 gas into lair build off 1 base, I think, was Fighting Frog when he went for a proxy 1 base swarm host on Foxtrot. You weren't casting it because I remember telling you about it and you were disgusted.
I don't remember that, but it sounds about right. Yes.
So like a proxy hatchery into swarm hosts.
Yep. I can feel it washing over me. I can just feel that contempt.
Good time. He used the proxy hatchery to build spore crawlers to kill their overseers. Not overseers. It was observers as the process. Beautiful. Cheesy Zerg. But yeah, we're just getting our interview set up, getting the player in position. But I mean, it's such a juxtaposition of games as well. In game number 1, almost the epitome of a macro ZVZ. There was that slight skirmish of, are you going for a big Ling Bane all-in? I don't think you are. Am I going for... No, I'm not going for Ling Bane all-in. I want to take this to the Roach game. Do you want to take this to the Roach game? Maybe. We'll build some Lings just in case.
That macro dance.
Like, if ZVZ is a knife fight, it's the 2 opponents eyeing each other up and kind of making sure that the other person doesn't think they're a bit weak. And then game number 2, cheesy as all hell.
Yeah.
Cheesy as you can
It's
get
the 2 polar ends of the magnet that is ZVZ.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that was pretty cool. The next game we're going to have up for you guys as well is, once I get this schedule up, is I think going to be Sluggy versus GamerKroxic. So I know we had a lot of GamerKroxic fans last time, and hopefully they'll turn out in full force. This is going to be another good one.
I like Sluggy already. I like how he plays.
Yeah,
Richie, of course, something of a favourite of everybody. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one very much.
Yeah, it should be really cool. But for now, we've got Aicy on the interview screen with FaZe. So take it away.
All right, I'm here with Aicy, the man who just beat GamerKroxic, one of our high Masters level Zerg. I'm like, how did you feel like those games went?
I was really impressed with how he played game 1. Like I was pretty behind quite a lot of the game, and he played it really smartly. But I just took better engagements than him. So, yeah, it was a good game. The first game was good.
Yeah, it was really good.
CVC, yeah.
Those games were brilliant. Like the way that you just like came back into it once he took out your whole army, you took out his whole army, and it's just like you were just able to get ahead on economy in the end because you was able to take the large economy shots that hindered him from making as much units as you could.
Yeah.
So game 2. Little interest in it. Quite cheesy, but like I quite liked it. I'm like, was you planning to go for something as cheesy as that? Like to go from a very early pool into very early 1 base roaches?
Yeah, I thought you'd go hatch first after I went hatch last game and got the better from that. And then I really loved that 1 base very roach build. I used to use that all the time in Clan Wars and do pretty well there. And you'd always have to use it at least once at LAN. Last time I used it against Mix and I lost. But this time it worked out. It's a good build.
The proxy spine crawls were a nice touch.
I've never done that before. That was the only time. Like I got the creep and it's like, oh, I can make spine crawlers. And I can contain him. So that was good.
Well, like he had to end up giving that contain in the end, but it's lucky because he just ended up pushing into your whole army with the speed. You even had +1 researching. Yeah. Is there any questions from the casters desk? Who are you most afraid of in your group and in the tournament?
Definitely Boombox.
Definitely Boombox.
Yeah. He's definitely the #1 player. Yeah, I think.
Do you think he can go away? Do you think he can go all the way again and win the Epic LAN?
I'm hoping for 2nd if I'm lucky, and get good CVC. Like Figaro is really hard to beat, and so is Cladorizer. But I think I can get 2nd, but I doubt I'll be able to beat Boombox.
Yeah, like ZVP is a really tricky matchup. Yeah. I'm like, casters, what's our next game that we're going to be casting? All right, I'm just going to ask for his predictions. Predictions, Sluggy versus GamerKroxic, TVT.
Probably GamerKroxic, I suppose.
Like, was you able to see much of Sluggy's games? Like, the way he played against Cladorizer?
Yeah, I saw, and Claderize are pretty much easy to him the next two games. So.
Yeah, I'm like he even said in the interview like he was just he said to me before the interview that he was just doing the cheese for the lols.
Yeah.
And then he was just able to cut. Then like in the second game he just went full crazy mode, like just turned on his pro gamer aspect and just played really well. Well, like all right. Do you have any do you want to pick a score for this Sluggy versus Gamer Richie?
2-1.
2-1 to Gamer Richie.
Yeah.
They both say that they agree. Yeah, right. Well, thanks for the interview. Congratulations. Yeah. That was a beautiful last game. Yeah. All right, and lads. I'm done here. Like we're gonna hop into Sluggy versus Gamer Richie, which is gonna be a really tough one considering we've seen Sluggy strut his stuff. Yeah, we're going to a break first, obviously. I'll go get them to do vetoes and stuff right now.